Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into the Losses Above Replacement podcast. Joining me today is just MAK. Alex is doing real world things. Congratulations, buddy. So MAK, how's it going?
That's going well, and yes, congratulations, Alex. For those of you who don't know, he just got a gig calling college summer ball this for the next 6 weeks or so. So, yeah, congrats, Alex. He'll be living out in Boulder, Colorado, for now. But yeah, I'm doing all right. I went to the Daryl Strawberry ceremony on Saturday, which was way cooler than the game that was played after. Apparently, there was a game afterwards. I don't know. Apparently, they played two of them. But yeah, I'm doing solid. It went from winter to summer very quickly in New York. It's all of a sudden blistering hot. And yeah, I got to link up with a good friend over the weekend. So yeah, doing all right.
I love to hear that. I did not have that good of a week. Watching the Braves continues to. I questioned why I continue to watch this Bozo Brigade, but we vibe. We're in June
Welcome
now.
to my world.
Yeah. I don't want to compare the Braves to the Mets. Yeah. I don't know. I will say at least the Mets were like expected to be like mid, and now they've like underperformed.
Exactly.
The Braves were like the greatest offense in the history of the universe last year, and now they are hitting like 212 as a team, besides Marcell Ozuna. So not exactly the best times in the world here in the NL East as Philly haters for both of us, but we vibe, and we move forward. And speaking of moving forward, a certain Arson Judge went nuclear last month and into early parts of June. If you hear that sound in the distance, it's Aaron Judge getting another barrel. He set the StatCast record for barrels in a month, and he is probably still hitting as we're speaking. But he is right smack in the middle of the American League MVP race with a whole host of other names, including Gunnar Henderson, Juan Soto, Jose Ramirez, Kyle Tucker, and Bobby Witt. So, MAK, you get a vote right now at the COVID mark of this season, about 60 games in. Who is your American League most valuable player?
This is so tough to pick because there are basically 5 or 6, maybe, probably, 5 or 6 guys in the American League all vying for this spot. When you put it all together, you take a look. By Baseball Reference War, Gunnar Henderson is the most valuable player in the American League. Now, when I submitted my votes to you, Splash, I have Gunnar as my AL MVP leader. That being said, these last couple of days, Judge has continued to rake. So it's really a toss-up because you also have Kyle Tucker, who's having a great year. Juan Soto, Judge's teammate, the guy who hits ahead of him in the lineup, he's been amazing. Another great performance yesterday. It must be nice having 2 stars that are hit back-to-back in the lineup and just tear the cover off the ball each time they come up.
Yeah, it's nice.
Bobby Witt Jr., great 5-tool player. He's having a fantastic year. Will probably be in the All-Star game as well. Jose Ramirez had a great month of May. He's got himself back into the race. So I think as of right now, though, putting it all together, man, I'm really on the fence. But I think I'm going to stick with Gunnar Henderson. I think, the fact that he is an instant threat at the top of the lineup. His walks are up. His strikeouts are down. He has 19 homers. He's played solid defense at shortstop. He's fast as well. I think you put it all together, it's Gunnar barely, like by an eyelash over Judge. But yeah, I definitely see the case for Judge to be first place.
This is a brutal race. I know in the past you've compared it to the 2006, 2007, 2008 NL MVP races. It's just you can't go wrong with any of the picks. You can't go wrong with Gunnar
There's a case
or Judge,
for each one.
Or Soto or Tucker or Witt. I think J-Ram is getting back into the race, but he had a pretty cruddy month of April, pretty cruddy start. Yeah. So he's now granted he's probably driving
fantastic with men in scoring position.
Yeah, so is Javi Baez, by the way. If you are following us on Twitter at LAR_baseball, I just tweeted out a wonderful Javi Baez stat that his OPS plus with men in scoring position is 145 points higher than his OPS plus with no men on. But to me, I talked about it on Cooler Thoughts the other day, so you can check that out on the YouTube. I think Bobby Witt's my MVP right now. And I have to ding Judge a little bit because for a month he wasn't playing like an MVP. And Bobby Witt has played like an MVP the entire season. Has he been number one the entire time? Not necessarily. But he has been in that conversation since day one. And he's gotten a little unlucky with the home runs. You can check his expected home run page, and maybe he heats up a little bit more even beyond where he is. Entering play today, a 153 OPS plus, 906 regular OPS, 17 steals. So he leads this group in steals. He leads this group in hits, hitting 313. And he has been a catalyst for a team that, while some of us predicted it, that the Royals would be a lot better than they were last year, not everyone was on board. And he's a big reason why the Royals are one of the best teams in baseball. They have a better record than the Atlanta Braves right now, believe it or not.
Surely we all expected that, right?
Yeah, surely we all expected that. So I think Witt number one. It's tough ranking behind that because you're just splitting hairs to like the nth most degree. And I said it on Cooler Thoughts. I think Judge has the talent to win out. So if Judge even maintains half of his current pace, he will win the MVP because it's just Aaron Judge, and he is perhaps the best player we've seen in the last 20 years. But it's brutal. So I'm going to go Witt by the slimmest of margins, probably Soto second. Soto has even
second.
better.
Interesting.
Yeah, Soto has even better like win probability stuff than Judge does. It's weird. Like just strict win probability added, he's at 2.6. Judge is at 1.5. He's been more clutch than Aaron Judge at 28 base out runs added to Judge's 21. So I don't know. I think Soto's been awesome, man. Judge probably 3.
He has been really good.
Henderson 4, Tucker 5, Jose Ramirez 6. So it's a tough conversation to have. You know, there's so many good players, and I'm excited to see how this race shapes out the rest of the season. So
yeah,
race that
it's going to be. I mean, it's kind of a bloodbath. I mean, seriously, there's so much talent in the American League this year. Picking one, it's not to knock another guy in the race. It's really just because
right.
It's that there's that much talent.
Right. This is the classic case of just because a guy is second doesn't mean he's not MVP level. Mm-hmm. You know, there's for every season like 2021 that there's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in second place. There's a season like Mookie Betts is in second last year. And Mookie had a clearly better season, was unanimous second place, which I've never seen before and probably will never see again. It's just been, awesome. So love to see it in the American League, but in the National League, not quite as loaded of a race. You have the big names up top, of course, but it just kind of, falls off a little bit. So Mac, walk us through the candidates.
So I think there are two clear front runners, in my opinion. They both, like we were saying in the American League race, they happen to be teammates with Mookie Betts and Shohei Ohtani. Now, the tough part is I think the better overall hitter has been Ohtani. It's pretty clear. Betts got off to that hot start with his power. He's still hitting 319 right now. He still has an OPS over 900. He's walking more than he strikes out. But he hasn't really – he's hit like 3 home runs in the last 6 weeks. He has not gotten a lot of extra base hits. That being said, he does get a bit of a boost because he's played the infield. Granted, he has not played shortstop that well. He's a much better second baseman and right fielder than he is a shortstop, but he's willing to do whatever Dave Roberts asks him to. So there's those two guys up top, and then there's like a whole slew of guys who, when I'm looking at how I voted, there's William Contreras, who's been arguably the best overall catcher in baseball this year. Marcell Ozuna tearing the cover off the ball for the Braves. He's been their best hitter. And then it's like the talent level falls off really. I'm obviously like these guys are all great players, but you look at the American League, you have 5 or 6 guys who could all be top 2 in MVP voting right now. And then you look at the National League and you see 2 guys and then a lot of pretty good players, but not MVP caliber players. So I had Jurickson Profar as my 5th place spot.
Wow.
Profar is having a career year. But that being said, you have Bryce Harper, who's pretty good. He just won Player of the Month. But really, I think there's only 2 front runners here.
Yeah, this is a tough one. Did you realize that Ketel Marte is second in the National League in Baseball Reference for today?
Well, I did just watch him go ballistic against the Mets yesterday, so I do believe it.
Yeah, he went bananas off Spencer Strider too back in April. So the good old days. Yeah, I do think there's a clear sort of stratification. Is that the word? Stratification? I don't know. I haven't been in a geology class in a long time, but regardless, I think there's clear tiers, if you will. So to me, the bottom of the ballot is the Profars of the world, Ketel Marte. So this would be like the 5 to 10 range. Marte, Profar, Harper, Alec Boehm has fallen off. He had been in this group.
He had a great month of April.
But... Yeah, Ellie's fallen off. Ezekiel Tovar,
Abrams.
Hello, he's fighting for down ballot MVP votes. To me, Bryce Turang has been pretty good. You have, of course, you have
Ryan
the pitchers,
McMahon,
Ranger Suarez,
sort of.
Shota Imanaga, even though he got roughed up his last outing. But to me, there's a clear top 4. William Contreras 4. But I am going to go on the eye test here. I think Marcell Ozuna has been the most valuable player in the National League. And I have the numbers to back it up. All
right.
Going on the same win probability idea that I gave with Soto just a minute ago, Ozuna is either first or second in every win probability stat known to man. And listen, I think it does kind of hurt Betts and Ohtani's case that they are teammates. They're hitting in the same lineup every single day, and they're on
in front of consecutively in the lineup too.
Yeah. Freddie hits behind him. So you have, I think that will end up hurting them. Depends on who else is in the race. I don't exactly think the voters are climbing over themselves to vote for Marcell Ozuna for a variety of reasons. One being he's a DH, but there's, to me, not been a player in the National League more influential on wins and losses this season than Marcell Ozuna. If Ozuna was having just a good season, just like what he did last year, the Braves would be around 500. They have had total incompetence offensively, and if Ozuna goes 0 for 4, you're probably losing. If Betts or Ohtani go 0 for 4, well, the other one probably picks him up. Freddie Freeman picks him up. Will Smith picks him up. One of the outfielders hits for once. They get a good outing on the mound and they win 3-2, even though Ohtani goes 0 for 4, Betts goes 0 for 3 with a walk or whatever. So that's my argument. Yes, I'm a homer. I get it. But Big Bear, to me, is the MVP right now. Betts and Ohtani, I'd literally flip a coin, second or third right now. Contreras 4th. Marte 5th, and then you moved down along the list.
Yeah, I'll say this much also, like I was saying in the American League side, a lot changed in the last couple of days actually, which I feel like doesn't happen that often. But Marte had a 2-homer game yesterday. He reached base 5 times. He looked really good at the plate. He's a switch hitting infielder with basically 5 tools, I would say.
He's by the way, kind of mid defensively.
Defensively, that's his shortcoming, but he's fast. He hits for power. He hits for average. He's a very good overall. I feel like people almost forgot about him because the Diamondbacks were struggling and he was struggling to stay on the field. But I think last year he really reinserted himself as one of the better infielders in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's like I said earlier, the National League. It's a lot of there's the top. It's very top heavy, and then there's a lot of very good guys. So it's not as difficult of a conversation, I feel like, compared to the American League.
Yeah, and I do want to shout out Mason Wynn, who's 9th among position players in Baseball Reference. We're right there with Marcell Ozuna ahead of Freddie Freeman. So big season for one Cardinals young player, even though their other ones tend to be struggling. But someone who hasn't been struggling, some American League pitchers. We're talking Seth Lugo. We're talking Tarek Skubal. We're talking Luis Heel. So, Mac, who is your American League Cy Young right now?
Man, So many great pitchers across baseball this year, really. We're going to talk about this in the National League too, but picking a winner right now it's almost harder to do it for the Cy Young Award. Right now, my AL Cy Young Award winner, putting it all together, is Seth Lugo. And I cannot believe I'm saying this. And look, I always wanted Lugo to succeed as a starter, and it seemed like in New York, he never put it together as a starter, other than that first little audition he had in 2016. This year, I mean, granted, take pitcher wins with a grain of salt, but he's 9-1 with a 1.72 ERA, and he's leading the American League in innings pitched. If you had told me in 2022 that Seth Lugo would be leading his league in innings pitched at any point in time, I would have just scoffed at you. He was a reliever only, in my opinion. I thought there was no shot he made it back as a starter, and here we are. I think he's my front runner, narrowly ahead of Tarek Skubal. And Luis Gil, who's been fantastic this year. And by the way, I did not know, and we'll get into this a little bit later, Luis Gil is rookie eligible. So keep that in mind. And then there's Tanner Houck, who's been really good this year, although he and another guy who's in the conversation, Reese Olson, have just gotten no run support this year. There are so many guys I could have included. I fully expect Cole Reagans to have a case at some point. He's been great this year, really. It's a really deep field. I mean, we didn't even mention any of the guys on the Mariners right now, but it feels like they have a rotation full of aces. And I expect George Kirby and Logan Gilbert to get back into it. Same with Luis Castillo. They're all rounding into form slowly. So if I were limiting it to the top five, it's Lugo, then Skubal, then Gil, Houck, and Olson. Those are my five, but there's like 10 guys probably with good cases.
Right. You could even throw Corbin Burns in that group.
Corbin Burns, yeah, he's been fantastic too.
He's been great. You have Renault Blanco, who just got suspended for sticky stuff. Tyler Anderson, Clark Schmidt, Brady Singer.
Schmidt Crawford just got hurt, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So he's out like 6 weeks or so, I'm pretty sure.
Garrett Crochet and Eric Fetty, names to watch at the trade deadline. More Fetty.
Even Jack Flaherty, to a certain extent.
Flaherty was leading the league in strikeouts per 9.
Yep.
That was not on my radar at all. Reed Detmers just got optioned to AAA, by the way. Pablo Lopez has not quite been himself. A certain one of us picked him to win the Cy Young, and he's looking pretty stupid, but that's okay. I like your Lugo case. I think Lugo is in my top three. My top three is in no particular order: Luis Gil, Seth Lugo, Tarek Skubal. And I do think Skubal wins out long term. I'll just throw my hat in the ring there.
I can see that. Yep.
Yeah, I think he's the best pitcher of the group. Of those three, lowest walk rate. His strikeout rate is right there with Luis Gil. And I
believe leads the majors in FIP.
Yes, I'm going to take Tarek Skubal as my Cy Young right now. Lugo second, Luis Gil third. Gil had a wonderful, wonderful month of May. Skubal's been dominant from the word go. Honestly, from the word go, last season he was dominant. He was the best pitcher in either league after he made his debut. Seth Lugo has been a whirlwind for Kansas City. Another big reason why they've been excellent this season. 9-1 record. Like, he's balling out right now. Tanner Houck, he's had a good season. Corbin Burns has had a good season, but my pick is Tarek Skubal. At least
Skubal,
as of right now.
That strikeout to walk ratio is hard to look past, and that's why it was really tough for me to not put him as number one. But Lugo's been an absolute revelation. I mean, he opted out of his deal with San Diego because he took the bet on himself, and he got a 3-year contract. He's making it look like an absolute steal right now. Granted, he is 34, so who knows? Maybe this is his peak, but he's a huge reason why Kansas City's in the race right now. So I'm really, really curious to see how he plays out over the course of a full season. I feel like he's never qualified for the ERA title. So this is his chance to go out there and get those Cy Young votes, make an all-star game. He was great as a reliever. I really, really liked him as a reliever. And, he always wanted to be a starter. He has become a starter and become very good at it.
Right. Absolutely. One more thing about Skubal, a 27 K- BB. That is absurd.
That's very good.
That's what Alex thinks George Kirby does.
I mean,
Which
George
fair
Kirby's
enough.
fantastic, though, to be fair.
Yes, George Kirby's great. He just has an inflated ERA right now, sort of Spencer Strider disease. But anyways, Seth Lugo only strikes out 21.2% of batters. I think that could be something that hurts him as the season
Yeah,
progresses. And
I can
Luis
see
Heel
that.
walks a lot of guys too. Although he was awesome his last outing, 8 innings of 1-run ball.
Yeah.
8 innings scoreless. He was
only
fabulous.
4.1 hits per 9, though.
That is a valid point.
Yeah, it's tough because, yes, he does walk guys, but at the same time, he barely allows any hits. So
yes, it's definitely Nolan Ryan disease. So
yeah, kind of.
Yeah. So it's a fun race in the American League. The National League has been clouded a little bit in recent weeks. Shota Imanaga got blown up his last start. Chris Sale got blown up his last start. Ranger Suarez got blown up quite literally with a pitch the other day. And he allowed 5 runs in Colorado the other night. But Mac, who is your National League Cy Young today?
So if you this is a good thing that we waited till the end of the month to submit our votes, because if you'd asked me on Memorial Day who my Cy Young winner was, it would be Imanaga, because he had an ERA under 1. But after that rocky outing, his ERA rose, I believe, a full run to 1.86, which is still fantastic, by the way. My number 1 is Ranger Suarez. And Suarez might be going on the IL. I understand although the swelling on his hand did go down. I mean, this guy, kind of like Lugo, he started out as a reliever, was really good as a reliever, became a starter, and now, I feel like he was underrated almost because, he got overshadowed by the Zach Wheelers and Aaron Nolas in that Philly rotation. But 9-1 with a 1.70 ERA, leading the majors, 79 strikeouts in 74 innings, an NL leading 2.36 ERA plus, a major league leading 0.797 WHIP, only 5.2 hits per 9 allowed. That's also the best rate in the National League. And he has a 79-16 strikeout to walk ratio, so that's nearly a 5-to-1 ratio. I think he sort of checks all the boxes, really. I think I have Imanaga in second right now. That's subject to change again. Zach Wheeler, I have in third. I think Wheeler's been a workhorse, and because of how great Suarez has been, I feel like almost all of a sudden Wheeler's kind of taking a step back in that rotation, although I think he's probably still the ace. I mean, as of Friday night, I had Chris Sale in fourth. And, there's also Tyler Glasnow, who is getting a lot of strikeouts and has finally looked like what we expected him to be if he stayed healthy. Now, there's still another 3 months left in the season, but I think Glasnow, if he stays healthy, will have a great case to win the Cy Young. So I have Suarez, then Imanaga, then Wheeler. I'm going to go Glasnow fourth now, and then Sale, I think.
Yeah, this has been a weird year for pitchers. You look at the WAR leaderboard, and you have Imanaga, Ronaldo Lopez, and neither of those guys qualify for the ERA leaderboards. And with Lopez, it makes sense because he's converting from being a reliever. With Imanaga, it makes sense because he's coming over from a different pitching schedule. And
there's
sucks.
Jordan Hicks too.
Yeah, Jordan Hicks has been quite gnarly. He's fourth in the National League in ERA right now. And Philadelphia's rotation, if there was a rotation of the year, it's Philadelphia's. They have number 1, number 3, number 5, and number 9 in ERA plus right now in the National League. Suarez, Wheeler, Sanchez, and Nola. The only team that is really close to being competitive with that, the only team with 2 guys in the top 10 is Atlanta. And Atlanta, Sale just got annihilated, and Fried allowed 10 runs in his first 2 outings. So
Philly doesn't even include Spencer Turnbull, who was fantastic before getting moved to the bullpen.
Yes, but Philadelphia insists on starting Taijuan Walker, so I don't know.
It's that salary,
Yeah, this is true. So Suarez is the pick. Of course, Max said he might go on the IL here in a minute, but Suarez is the pick. He's been excellent, just the crafty lefty. He's been throwback to his 2021 season. He was untouchable. Throwback to what he does in the playoffs. He's been untouchable. And rounding out that top 5, you throw Imanaga in there. Javier Assad, another Cub. He's been excellent. He's second in the National League in ERA. Like you said with Wheeler, Hunter Green is fourth in pitcher WAR. He's had an improved season. The Braves guys with Ronaldo Lopez, Chris Sale, Max Fried, they're all have these weird peaks, and Lopez just hasn't pitched enough. I understand why the Braves are doing it, but it's not exactly conducive to having a guy win the Cy Young, even though he has a sub-2 ERA still. Sale got annihilated his last time out, 8 runs in 4 innings. And Fried got annihilated his first 2 times out, so he's still working down his ERA. And do you want to shout out Austin Gomber of the Rockies, who, note, the Rockies? This might be the first time we've ever thought the Arenado trade wasn't a total dunking on the Rockies when Austin Gomber turns into a somewhat consistent starter and Nolan Arenado is potato. But regardless, also shout out to Bailey Falter. He's also in the top 10 in pitcher war, but Suarez 1, then 2 through 5, I think it's like Wheeler and Assad and Sale and Imanaga, and just this cluster that I don't think is exactly close to Suarez. Suarez would probably be unanimous in voting as of today.
Oh yeah, if the season ended today, 100%. And look, same with Lugo. Like, I was skeptical at first when they announced that they were moving Suarez from the bullpen to the rotation because he was so good out of the bullpen in 2021, and he was great as a starter too down the stretch. But I'm like, all right, what can I see out of him in a full season? He's been very good ever since he became a full-time starter. I think,
Right.
Like I was saying earlier, because of the other talent in the Phillies rotation, he kind of got overshadowed. And now he's gotten his time to shine. And I think, yes, he had that rocky outing, no pun intended, at Coors Field. But if he's healthy, I think, there's a strong chance he maybe even if he regresses a bit, he will probably be a front runner to win.
Also, did you see that Kyle Schwarber hit about 300 last month?
Yeah, I'm sure we all expected him to do that.
Yeah, with minimal power, too. That was weird.
Well, it's like when my dad likes talking about when Dave Kingman, the one year when he ended up on the Cubs and he learned how to hit for power, but he was he was nearing 50 home runs, but hit like 330 in the last month of the year, but only hit like 2 homers.
Oof.
It's weird. Power hitters have stretches like that sometimes.
Yeah, like Matt Olson hit like 350 for 4 months last year. I could not believe my eyes. But granted, he was doing the whole
2006, Ryan Howard finished with 58 homers, but he hit 56 on September 6th, if I'm not mistaken. And hit like over 500 the last 3 weeks of the season, but only hit 2 homers. So,
yeah, it's weird. You have that Luis Ariz conversation every day, but one conversation we have been having is who won the Corbin Burnes trade, because Milwaukee has this player by the name of Joey Ortiz who currently leads all position players in rookie F4. Is he your National League Rookie of the Year pick, or are you going elsewhere, Mac?
Well, I think because yes, Ortiz has been the best position player rookie in the National League, but I can't look past what Shota Imanaga has done this year. And I understand that, as of a couple days ago, my top 3 was Imanaga, Gavin Stone, and Mason Witt. But it's hard to look past how great Ortiz has been in the last month or so. His overall numbers, he's hitting 293 with an 894 OPS. He's fast. He's drawing walks this year. He wouldn't have had a chance to do this, I feel like, if he had stayed in Baltimore. So he gets moved. 13.1% walk rate against only a 14.3% strikeout rate, which is great. I do think there's going to be some regression just looking at his batted ball numbers. Only a 36.8 hard hit rate, but I really like what I've seen out of Joey Ortiz. But I think right now, Imanaga is still my number 1. It's just what he's done. I understand, he's an older rookie, but I know people have held that against guys like Hideki Matsui before, but I think he has to be the front runner still. I think Ortiz, Stone, and Wynn in no particular order are my 2 through 4. I had Stone at the end of the month. He's been great for the last 7 starts or so, and I think he has great stuff. So the rookie class as a whole in both leagues is really good this year.
Agree. So Imanaga is my pick as well, but I'll take the time to highlight some other players. His teammate, Ben Brown. It's also another teammate, Michael Busch. Busch has kind of tailed off, but Busch does have big numbers as of right now. Ben Brown has been
He had a rocky last outing, I know.
He's been like a pseudo. I know the Rates and Barrels guys want him to be a closer, but he started 7 games for Chicago. Matt Waldron, the knuckleballer, Jared Jones, and Paul Skeens. Mitchell Parker has been really good for the Nationals. You have Jeremiah Estrada, who took over baseball with his 13 consecutive swinging strikeouts.
Right, he's a rookie, yes.
Yeah, I do want to give a shout out to the Mets and Christian Scott. He's back in AAA for like schedule reasons, but he was very good his handful of outings at the big league level. But I think Imanaga is the pick on the position player side. You look at Mason Wynn, you look at Joey Ortiz. They've been great. Again, that's depending on what the WAR you're using, they're going to look wild. Jacob Young steals a ton of bases for Washington. He hasn't hit much, but great defensively, steals a lot of bases. So if you want like a more under the radar, I guess, contender, it's that one. Nick Gonzalez has been good so far for Pittsburgh. Heliot Ramos has been hitting for Nick Gonzalez has been good for Pittsburgh. Ramos has been hitting for San Francisco. Ivan Herrera has been hitting for the Cardinals, by the way. So it's a loaded group.
I have a question for you, though.
Sure.
Because neither of us included Paul Skeens in our rankings. Now, I get he was in the minors for the first 5 or 6 weeks of the season. Mm-hmm. What would he have to do to get into this conversation? To become a finalist, at least?
Maintain his level of play. This is sort of the Aaron Judge-like conversation to me, that if you're ranking purely on talent, he's either 1 or 2 with Yamamoto. I don't remember if he was exactly in a poll that I did that would you rather have Skeens or Yamamoto, or Skeens or Imanaga the rest of the season? I would take Skeens. Imanaga does have an advantage. He's made 6 extra starts, but that's only 6 extra starts. And I can say that's tough, though, because the Pirates might have an incentive to not throw Skeens all out because the Pirates aren't going to be competitive. While the Cubs with Imanaga, they know, well, Imanaga is a professional. He's, 30 and he's pitched for years and years and years in Japan. And like, he can handle the workload, maybe not every 5th day, maybe not every 5th day, but he can handle a larger workload. So Imanaga is going to have him on the counting stats outside of maybe strikeouts. I don't know if Skeens can catch him in strikeouts. That'd be pretty bananas, but I would take Skeens 4 starts and put that up against just about any 4 starts Imanaga has the entire season, but Imanaga has twice as many starts.
Yeah, it's tough because I feel like with Skeens and Jones, we see it with young pitchers all the time. That they're both in their early 20s. They're both 22. You're going to see innings limits, and I think as we're going to get into the American League in a second, but Luis Gil is coming off of Tommy John surgery. He's probably going to be on an innings limit too. I don't know if the Cubs really have an innings limit on Imanaga other than, all right, he's going to pitch once a week, like the way they do in NPB. So because I think Skeens would have a strong leg in the race if he began the season in the majors.
Yeah, I think he would have a strong argument of leading the group, and that's the trouble in say betting on this sort of thing. That betting on Rookie of the Year, betting on pitchers to win Rookie of the Year is just a bit of a fool's errand, because you can have great seasons, but it's hard to predict, and it's hard to predict any rookie, but it's hard to predict the innings they throw, right? It's tough to say, even when Spencer Strider threw 130 innings and he was amazing and whatnot, it's well, is he going to go out there 6 innings every single time? Probably not, because this is his first year starting, at the major.
And he was coming off, the surgery.
Yeah, and he had a Tommy John at Clemson. So definitely had a brain aneurysm there, but that's okay. So I would go Imanaga, but in the American League, I'm sticking with the pitcher. I'm going Luis Gil. There have been good, players otherwise, and I'll talk about them momentarily. But Gil had a phenomenal May. He was, to me, the right-handed pitcher of May. Sale being the left-handed pitcher of May. And I don't necessarily think it's close. There's a couple guys in his division, namely Willie Abreu, Colton Cowser, who have had good seasons, but they'd probably be 2 and 3 in some order. Davis Schneider, It was not a flash in the pan last year. He has a 134 WRC plus right now, but I'd go Luis Heel, and I wouldn't think twice about it.
Yeah, so Heel is my front runner too, and like you said, not sure it's particularly close. I know Mason Miller has been fantastic as a reliever, and he technically is rookie eligible, yes, because he only pitched 33 innings last year. He had a couple of rocky outings recently. Gave up a couple runs to Colorado, and then he blew the save against Tampa Bay. But overall, even with those blemishes, I mean, 0.87 FIP, 17.7 strikeouts per nine, that's 51 Ks against 10 walks in 26 innings, 11 saves, 2.08 ERA. He's been fantastic, obviously. It's weird. He does not have a win in the majors, which is kind of crazy. But that's why pitcher wins are not the best statistic to evaluate players. I think Willie Abreu is my third place guy. Abreu has sort of been a savior for the Red Sox. He's helping keep them competitive. A 272 average with an 829 OPS, 130 OPS plus, 6 homers, 14 doubles, 2 triples, 7 steals. He's kind of doing a bit of everything. His defense could use a little bit of improvement, but he's hitting the ball in the air more, which is great. He's hitting the ball hard in general. He's cut his strikeout rate down a little bit. His isolated power is up. I really like watching him play. I mean, he is. What I'm curious about is what his position will be long term. They have Rafaela playing center a lot. He's been really good. Abreu can play center, but he's also been really good at right. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. I think the Red Sox, while this is kind of a dark period for them, they have some reasons to get excited, and Abreu is one of them.
I want to throw a dark horse name out. I know he hasn't quite hit well this season. He's a 70 WRC plus, but the batted ball metrics really like him. He has walked at 11% clip. I think Austin Wells could play his way into a conversation later in the year. Maybe not winning, but I think he could be in the conversation. He's had if you just look at the baseball savant page, he might be the rookie of the year. But the problem is the game is not played on a baseball savant page. As fun as that would be, but 339 expected WOBA plus 77 compared to his regular WOBA.
So here's the thing: is that I want to believe in Austin Wells, but he's like barely even starting these days.
That's true. Like. Jose Trevino's back.
Trevino's been good. Wells, it almost makes me wonder why Wells is in the majors. This is the thing, is that he's not getting regular playing time. And I understand he's left-handed, Trevino's right-handed, but if you're not going to play him regularly and he's not playing particularly well, I would want him in the minors to get regular at-bats. Now, I understand they just traded their third-string catcher, Luis Torrens, to the Mets, but
pitching legend
Luis Torrens, he does have one career win, but it makes me wonder, is it worth having a veteran be the backup while sending your rookie back to the minors? And I think that's what eventually will happen, is that Wells will end up back in AAA because he needs the reps, and he's not getting consistent reps right now.
Right, catcher's a weird spot to platoon with. I know, like, the math says it works, but I don't know. I think with catcher, shortstop, center field, you probably shouldn't platoon. You need either like the Mason Wins of the world or the Austin Wells of the world. They need to play every day. Like, even if you're, at least with Wells' case, he's the long side of the platoon. That's great, but he should play every day or play 2 out of 3 and let Trevino catch one of the veteran pitchers, or like catch Sunday afternoon days, whatever. But yeah, you got to have him in the lineup. He's only played 35 games, 117 plate appearances, and they haven't been great. 235 BABIP, so he's getting a little unlucky, but he's batting below 200. His slug is below 300. So this is not a win now. This is I think he could be, rest of season could be among the top rookies.
I could see it. And I think he'll be a pretty good catcher in the majors eventually. I think he has a lot of promise. I know the pitching staff spoke very highly of him last year during his audition in the majors. So, I think, he is the pedigree, from the minors, that he could succeed in the majors. And I have high hopes for him. It's just right now, I think he has a long way to go.
Yep, some more guys I want to shout out. Braves killer Max Schumann. He reached base 6 straight times in the weekend series. Winslow Perez of the Tigers, he's been quite nice for them. Kyle McCann has come up and put a 155 WRC plus on the ledger. So Some early season picks that we had. The Colt Keith of the world has been quite average. Wyatt Langford's been below average.
Keith is slowly getting going. I'll say that much.
This is fair.
But yeah, Langford and Evan Carter.
So.
Yeah, Langford and Evan Carter though have kind of been. I know Langford got hurt, but he hasn't been great yet. He only has one homer. Carter has kind of
the Parker too.
fallen off. Yeah, that's. I have high hopes for both those guys, but part of the reason why I feel like Texas has struggled is they haven't gotten the contributions from those guys.
Great. Braden Shoemake has cooled off dramatically. He's negative 0.7 F4. Nolan Shanuel, negative 0.4. Austin Martin with the Twins, negative 0.3.
He's back in the minors too, if I'm not mistaken.
Manzardo, Meadows are negative. So not there's some rookies that are struggling. But hey, they're the rookies, and maybe one day they will be some of the best players in baseball.
Exactly.
So speaking of some of the best players in baseball, we're going to try a new segment. Trivia obviously isn't going to work very well with just two of us because it would just be like a quiz, basically. Well, I thought, what's a good quiz website? That is one Sporcle. For a long time I called it Sporcle. I guess
close enough.
Yeah, I prefer Sporcle, but I guess like the Greek pronunciation or whatever is Sporcle. But I am going to look up a wonderful, wonderful baseball quiz. I'm actually going to share my screen. So if you are listening on the podcast, this would be a good time to check out our wonderful YouTube page, Losses Above Replacement. You can just search it in the search bar or at LAR Baseball. We're there. Good stuff. Maybe we'll stream trivia moving forward. I don't know. Yeah, phenomenal stuff. I've been streaming MLB Power Pros. Alex has talked about it. He has a certain job that he has now, so maybe not anytime soon, but yeah.
But eventually I'm sure we'll see, sometimes some MLB The Show stuff, it's
for sure.
You'll see all sorts of things on that channel, and it's good content.
All right. So if you see a quiz that tickles your fancy, let me know. The Johnny Damon Jacoby Ellsbury quiz is quite fascinating, although it is a picture quiz, so it would probably not be great for a podcast.
Yeah, I don't normally do picture quizzes. That's the thing. It's
Missing Word 2010 Cy Young.
It's interesting.
Invisible MLB 500 Home Run Club.
That doesn't make any sense, but
if you type in, so say you type in Hank Aaron, it like pops up and then disappears. So you have to remember that you typed Henry Aaron.
Oh, that's weird. Okay.
Normally
what I do for this is I do a random quiz, which is
we can do a random quiz. I hope we don't get like a general, like a all four sports combined. But here we go.
Normally we what I do is I go until I find one that I enjoy. It's that when I was back when I was in college and in in high school, that's that's what I would do to pass time.
Yeah, fair. This is definitely like after you finish your homework assignment or your test or whatever you're doing in class,
or while you're doing your homework.
Maybe my college professors and high school teachers don't need to hear that, but maybe.
Yeah. Okay. So this is stolen bases.
Yes, most stolen bases by
team in 2000. Okay, I could dig this, I think.
All right.
I know some
15
fast people.
minutes on the clock.
All right, perfect. Let's hit play.
All right, Arizona Diamondbacks, 110 stolen bases.
I think that is Eric Burns. I know he stole 50 one season. So
yeah, he's second. I would go Tony Womack.
Second.
Yeah.
Yes, Tony Womack.
At
You're
110. Right. Burns at 88. He's second. So we have 68.
Maybe Chris Young.
Chris Young.
I know is fast.
Eric Young as well for the Cubs.
Wow. Okay.
Orlando Hudson. I was
going to say O-Dog maybe.
He might be on like a Blue Jays list. Negative.
Apparently not. Okay. Fast people. Who do you think led for the Braves? Rafael Furcal?
That is a good guess. That is a correct guess. 189.
Oh, and he's there for the Dodgers too.
Yes. Behind him, Chipper and Andrew, they played a lot of years. They're not like
I
known
can
base
see
stealers.
one of the Joneses.
Yeah, both of them.
Oh,
Okay.
both of them. Okay. What about
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's like 6 steals a season. Marcus Giles?
Yeah, I was gonna say Marcus Giles.
Yes.
Oh, third.
And
Who would that
32 is fifth.
32.
Kelly Johnson?
No. Johnson wasn't a base stealer though, and I don't think Edgar Renteria was either.
I think he only played 1 year in Atlanta too, but he's on a different list.
No, he played multiple years in Atlanta. 06 and 07, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Then 08 with the Tigers.
Yeah. I'm assuming Baltimore is Brian Roberts.
That's a good
or
guess.
Corey Patterson.
If my laptop would load. Brian Roberts, Dave Roberts with the Dodgers as well. I'll try a Patterson. Corey Patterson, both Cubs
Corey
and the
Patterson,
Orioles.
wow, for the leads the Cubs. Okay, interesting.
By 1 over Eric Young.
All right. Baltimore.
Markakis.
Ryan Friel, maybe.
Friel's a good one for Cubs and Reds.
I was gonna say he'd probably be there for the Reds.
Yeah, top of the Reds.
Leader for the Reds. For the Red Sox, I'd say Jacoby Ellsbury stole like 71 years.
Damon's up there.
Johnny Damon.
Damon's second. Ellsbury at 129.
Ellsbury, despite not coming up until 2007, is the leader for the Red Sox. That's how fast Jacoby Ellsbury was, by the way, guys. For those of you who don't know.
The power of stealing 70 bases in a year.
Yeah, dude, he was electric as a young guy.
All right.
Juan Pierre's probably there for a couple of teams.
Good guess. Yeah, 4
Juan
teams.
Pierre's there for the Cubs, Marlins, and Dodgers. What? He barely even played
Rockies
for the Dodgers. Too. And Rockies?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, MLB Power Pros 2008. He's on the Dodgers.
I know that he was on the team in 07. All right, let's keep moving along. I don't know if Pedroia would be there.
Great. Dustin Pedroia is fifth.
Pedroia is there. He's 5th for the Red Sox.
Let's see.
Okay. Arizona Diamondbacks. We have 68 and 62. If I'm seeing that right.
Steven Drew.
For the Drew wasn't really a base stealer though. That's the thing. One of the Drews is there. It's looks like we lost Splash for a second. Yeah, Steve. I don't think of the Drew brothers necessarily as as speedsters, but they were very, very underrated players. By the way, JD Drew. For those of you who don't know, if you see 40+ Baseball Reference War as a category on Immaculate Grid or on Crossover Grid, I highly recommend using JD Drew. So. Yeah, I'm sure we will try to get this back up. Here's Splash again.
We are back. Thank you, Sporcle, for crashing my laptop.
Oops.
So not ideal there. I got a Scott Podsednik in, leads the Brewers and the White Sox.
Yeah, that makes sense. Wait, for the Brewers too? I forgot. Yeah, that's right. He came up with the Brewers.
68 with the White Sox, aka 1 Scott Podsednik season. I'm gonna try Joe Creedy.
Creedy wasn't a speedster though. That's the thing. Maybe who was fast on those teams? I don't think Jermaine Dye stole a lot of bases by that point in his career.
Carlos Quentin.
Maybe Carlos.
I think he had a year with 20.
I know Carlos Beltran would be there for Kansas City probably, or New York, or one of those teams. He was very fast.
I need a new laptop very bad. 3rd with the Mets, 1st with the Royals.
Wow. Okay.
That White Sox team, at least in MLB Power Pros, has no speed. I know Alexi Ramirez was only up for 2 years. Hanley for the Marlins.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's tough.
All right, let's go Reds.
Reds, Brandon
It was
Phillips, maybe?
he did have a 30-30 season in there. Yeah, he's
Yeah, he
second.
did. Okay, who was first? Friel, right?
Yeah, Friel was first.
What are the
Did
numbers
Griffey steal
after
5
that?
bags a year?
Did
No.
Griffey by that point was getting hurt almost every single year, so
Valid point. What about a because their outfield
that's
in MLB Power Pros is Adam Dunn, not a base stealer, Ken Griffey Jr.,
no,
not a
not a
base stealer, and Corey Patterson, who is not on
okay,
their
yeah.
list.
Yeah.
Cleveland, Grady Sizemore.
Sizemore probably. Kenny Lofton had like a couple go-arounds with them, maybe.
He is. Yep, he's 5th. 48 steals.
Wow. Yeah, one of the 3 go-arounds he had in Cleveland.
David DeLucci, if I could spell, that'd be great.
Yeah, DeLucci might be there for
no dice.
no, he's not. Okay. This is for Cleveland, right?
Yes, Cleveland.
Okay.
Because their outfield is David Michaels, Jake Michaels, Jack Michaels.
Jason Michaels.
Jason, yes.
Jason
Sizemore
Michaels.
and then Sin-Soo Chu.
Oh, maybe Chu would be there. Yeah. Oh no.
No dice.
Okay, I'm looking at Colorado, by the way. Willie Taveras.
Oh, that's a good one.
Taveras stole like 68 one year, so
And then
he's there for Houston
4th
too.
on Houston, tied for 3rd. Houston.
Craig Biggio, maybe. Was he still
Houston?
stealing bases back then?
Yep, a few. Michael Bourne.
What about
Maybe he's first.
Bourne? Yeah. What about Bags?
Only 6 seasons
No?
in the 2000s.
What about Berkman? He wasn't that necessarily a speedster, but
he's second. I'll take it.
Oh, what about Detroit? Who would be there for Detroit?
Grandy Man.
Curtis Granderson. Yes.
If I could spell, that'd be great.
No, apparently not. Oh,
he's
Granderson's
first.
the leader. Okay.
67. Okay.
Los Angeles Angels. I wonder if Alex's favorite player, Sean Figgins, is there.
My guy. Yes. Gary Matthews. No.
Darren Erstad,
Erstad.
maybe?
He's 3rd with 111.
Reggie. I don't know if Reggie Willits was there long enough.
Probably not. Nope. No dice. Guerrero.
Okay.
He's on a list somewhere. He's on the
gotta
list
be.
with
For Montreal, probably.
First with the Nats, even though he never played with the Nats.
Oh, New York Mets, obviously Jose Reyes.
The man, the myth, the legend. And then behind him, Luis Castillo. Yes. He's 4th.
Castillo might be there. Oh, wow, he is there. He's there Marlins, for Florida. What about is Torrey Hunter there somewhere for Minnesota? Maybe.
Yep, he's first.
Oh, leader for Minnesota. New York Yankees, Derek Jeter. Number 2.
Yeah. Number 1 on the list. Cano wasn't a big. Alex Rodriguez.
Rodriguez might be there.
Yeah, he's 3rd.
Oh wow. Philadelphia, Bobby Abreu, maybe.
Rollins and Abreu.
Utley, maybe. Utley did steal like 31 year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's 5th. Okay.
5th. Okay.
Pittsburgh, Jason Kendall. Yeah,
Kendall could be. Oh wow, Jason Kendall. Just who you expect, a catcher led the Pirates in steals in the 2000s.
That is amazing.
What about Chris Duffy?
Yeah, fair enough. Nate McLouth. Yep, McLouth is 2nd. Chris Duffy's 4th.
Yep.
Chris Gomez. I don't think he played long enough for them.
Carlos Gomez might be somewhere for Minnesota, maybe.
With Gomez.
Okay.
He came up in 07, I think. We have Michael Young. I was going to do all the Delmans and the Dimitris and the Delmans. Yep.
Yeah.
Padres.
San Francisco. Padres.
Randy Wynn.
Maybe.
Yeah, Randy Wynn's
Wynn
first.
Definitely in for the Giants. What about Cabrera for the Padres?
Everett Cabrera. We have a Orlando
Oh,
Cabrera
no, we
with
have
the
Orlando
Angels
Cabrera.
and the
And-
Nationals.
Okay,
Ichiro with the
Interesting.
Mariners.
obviously. Who would second be for the Mariners?
We have a Sean Green sighting with the Dodgers. He's fifth. I was
Sean
trying
Green,
to type Khalil
yes.
Green. No dice on Khalil Green.
So Dave Roberts led them. Let's go over to the Giants.
Bonds wasn't stealing bases.
I don't
Jeff
know if
Kent?
Bonds was. Yeah,
No dice.
maybe try Bonds.
Yeah.
Might be
Bonds.
worth it.
Bonds. Yeah, he's third. Okay.
Oh, Bonds third. Yes.
That works. Their outfield in Power Pros was Dave Robertson left, Randy Winnan right, and I forget who the center fielder was.
Fred Lewis, maybe.
That's a good call. No dice.
He was fast.
Omar Vizquel. Yep, he's second.
Oh wow, there for San Fran. Okay.
Rich Aurelia? He was a
Aurelia
big power
was the base
guy.
stealer, though. Yeah.
Big power guy, shortstop.
Tampa Bay. Who? What's that number for Tampa?
Oh,
Damn, that's a big.
Carl
number for Tampa
Crawford.
Bay. Crawford, yeah.
If I need a new laptop. Carl Crawford. And we get Bossman
Upton.
Jr. All right, he's second.
I wonder if Justin Upton's up there for Arizona.
Probably not. No dice for Justin Upton.
Ian Kinsler for Texas.
Good call. He's first. Blue Jays.
Vernon
Sano
Wells
Hudson.
or Alex Rios.
Good calls. They're number one and number two.
Reed Johnson, maybe.
That man, he gave him a underrated player or a 1-year wonder post back in the day.
Yeah, he was very good in 2006.
Christian Guzman with Minnesota.
Guzman's probably there for
he's
Minnesota.
second. Rafael
Who could have
Belliard.
led for Oakland? Ronnie Belliard, if anything.
Oh, yeah.
Oakland
none
didn't
for
have a lot
Belliard.
of base stealers.
Nigel
Mark
Morgan.
Ellis or something?
No.
Morgan? Oh, no.
Mark Ellis is second on the A's.
Okay. Mark Kotze, maybe?
Braves legend, no.
Yeah, no.
At Diaz.
He hit for the cycle once.
He also
He hit for the cycle
famously
with the Braves.
beat the Braves. Yeah. He was an active Brave the last time they had won in Atlanta before yesterday or before Saturday.
Yeah. Durham? Ray Durham?
Good call. Fourth with the Giants.
For San Fran. Okay. Who could that last San Fran guy be?
And it's only 38, so you might have spent like 1 year there.
Yeah. Or just looking at the other teams here. Seattle 106.
Lopez?
Jose Lopez.
Felipe Lopez is
Felipe
fourth.
Lopez.
Wow.
Jose
okay.
Vidro, maybe somewhere. He wasn't really a speed guy, but I mean,
No.
no Vidro.
Beltre? Kind of jumped
Beltre
around
didn't
a
really
lot.
steal. Who could that Mets guy be? Who's second?
Brad Wilkerson?
David Wright.
Yeah, he had a 30-30 season.
Yeah, he had great
He's
wheels.
second.
He stole 4 bases in a game once.
Wow.
Okay. So we're moving along. Who is second
We're
for
at
the
82
Yankees?
of 150.
Brett Gardner, maybe? He didn't come up until 09, but
Yeah. We tried Cabrera.
Matsui wasn't a base stealer.
No.
Cano wasn't a base stealer either. Oakland,
Did Bernie Williams play long enough?
no, he also was kind of getting old by that point.
Fair.
Milwaukee, I'm looking. Milwaukee base stealers.
Ricky Weeks?
Could be Ryan Braun.
Yeah.
Ricky Weeks. I don't know if Braun stole a lot of
not
bases
top
back
5.
then.
Corey Hart, he's third. I'll take it. Corey Koski. Nope.
Koski, not a base stealer. He did have one great year for Minnesota, though. Okay, so we're running time down
I'm gonna
right now.
try Alfredo Amezaga. No.
For Florida?
Yeah. I'm just going through names right now. Alejandro De Aza, he didn't play enough.
De Aza, nah, he didn't play a lot. Emilio Bonifacio, maybe he was fast.
Bonifacio, I don't think he played enough.
What about Cameron Maben?
Don't think he played enough.
He probably didn't play enough either. Okay.
Every day in the lineup, Dan Ugla, no.
Nope.
Have we tried a Gonzalez? Anywhere?
He's not there.
Hmm.
This quiz is tougher than I expected. I'll tell you that.
We got a Lee somewhere. I don't know where it is though. Oh, Carlos Lee for the White Sox. Okay.
And Derek Lee for the Cubs.
Wow. Unexpected, but we will take those.
Yeah.
We'll take those. Mark DeRosa.
DeRosa didn't really steal bags. Who would that last guy for the Braves be though?
But it's only 32.
It's like Francoeur maybe or something. Like I can't see Francoeur being that. He wasn't particularly fast. No, okay, not Jeff Francoeur. We already have Marcus Giles, Rafael Furcal, Andrew Jones.
I tried Diaz.
It's not Diaz. Don't think it'd be Willie Ibar. Or maybe Eric Ibar's here somewhere.
Oh, we need to try the Esturises.
Yes, Esturis.
Ibar is no. Is
okay.
Turris? Wow. No
is Turris. Okay.
I'm surprised no Cesar or Meister. Okay. Garrett Anderson for the Angels? No.
He was pretty slow, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, he played a while though.
Steve Finley maybe somewhere. 90s. Steve Finley might be there for like Arizona. There we go.
Fourth. Okay.
He
works for me.
Fast and hit for power.
The ace, Eric Chavez. Yes, he's third.
Oh wow, Eric Chavez, not a base stealer, but he is.
Hey, there. I mean, if you play 10 years, you only got to steal 4 bags a year to get to 45.
40, yeah.
David DeJesus with the
David DeJesus,
Royals.
Yes.
Joey Gathright. Don't think he played enough.
No, he did not.
Guillen, Jose, or Carlos? Yeah, Carlos Guillen with the Tigers.
Carlos Guillen, great player for Detroit.
Placido Polanco, not really a speed guy, but
not really a speed guy.
Who are you thinking last guy for the Mets? You have Reyes, Wright, Beltran, Castillo, and
I'm trying to think of fast guys they've had. Pagan, maybe. I don't think Pagan would have stolen that many bases. No, he didn't because he got there. Church didn't steal bases. He also wasn't there very long.
Damian Easley.
Cliff Floyd, maybe. Maybe there for someone. I don't know if he was there for anyone.
We're missing a guy who went 40-40.
Rafael Soriano. Alfonso Soriano, yes.
Yeah.
So that's he's second on the Yankees. For the Yankees. Wow.
Yeah.
So we completed the Yankees at least. And the Nationals. We completed the Nationals. He only played 1 year in Washington.
Yeah. There you go.
And he was a 40-40 guy.
He might be he's on Texas's list as well. And he's on the Cubs list. No, he's not on the Cubs list. That's okay. Sure.
Alfonso Soriano, man. That's a one that the anti-wins above replacement crew would have a field day with because he has over 400 homers, but he only has like 28 career WAR.
Yeah, it happens.
It's confusing. He wasn't a particularly good fielder.
Almar's third for Cleveland.
This New York one is going to bother me. Is it like Edgardo Alfonso? I don't think Fonzie stole that many bases, though. Jay Payton, maybe?
Ooh, good call.
No, not Jay Payton. Huh.
Luke Scott with the Rays.
I can't see Scott as a...
He had B speed and MLB Power Pros.
All right. Didn't James Loney have good speed in that game, too?
Yes. James Loney had A speed in that game. Just still the most diabolical thing.
Yeah.
Garud Salonik. No.
Yeah, this is a struggle.
Yes.
I'll be straight up. right now.
I can't believe it's not Istrus with the Angels.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm running out of names.
Yeah, this is a tough one because it's like you could have 60, and that could be a guy who stole like 30 and 30, or that could be a guy who stole 6 a year for 10 years
in one season or something.
Right.
Like a Scott Putzenik.
Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to think of good base runners in MLB Power Pro. Jason, do we have? How are we? Jason Kubel is not a great base runner. Michael Kadire?
What about Jason? Maybe Jason Bay for Pittsburgh. He wasn't that fast, but like he was around long enough.
Yeah. So no on Michael Kadire. Jason Bay. Yeah, Jason Bay is third for the
Jason
Pirates.
Bay. Wow. Because I know he stole like
legend.
20 or so. Yeah, I try to forget about that. That last one on the Mets is going to drive me crazy. Because it's definitely someone I should
drive me up the wall. 32 steals. That should be like Omar Infante, not really a base stealer, but
yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, my keyboard is cooked. The I doesn't work. The D doesn't work. That pause. The F doesn't work.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's some random catchers on the list because they just stole a couple bags a year.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of ready to.
Yeah, I think we're running out of time too.
Yeah, so
all right.
Let's take a look at some guys we did miss though.
96 out of 150.
96 out of. We got about a 60 something percent. Good effort. That's
good effort.
In school, that earns you around
64%.
64%. Hey, we did better than average. Craig Counsell, interesting.
You could have given me the entire history of the world, and I never would have pulled that.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I didn't know Quilvio Veras was active in the 2000s. I have heard the guy's name before, but yeah. Oh wow, Roger. Oh my god, I forgot Roger Cedeno came back to the Mets. That's the thing. The Mets traded Cedeno to Houston for Mike Hampton. I completely forgot that they got him back at any point in time. So
we missed Coco Crisp on multiple teams. Raji Davis.
Yeah, I should have gotten Chris. Raji Davis for what team? Oakland.
Yes.
Oh my God, he led Oakland and Miguel Tejada. Okay.
How did we miss Mike Cameron?
Okay, that one's gonna bother me.
Willie Bloomquist.
Rob Makoviak. I would not have gotten Rob Makoviak or Willie Bloomquist.
I think if you gave me enough time, may have got Makoviak. Victorino, Albert Pujols, second on the Cardinals.
Wow.
Okay.
Fernando Vina, Jim Edmonds. Oh my God, Rocco Baldelli.
Gabe Kapler, future manager.
I should have gotten Shannon Stewart.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I missed. Julio Lugo, Rocco Baldelli, Jason Bartlett. If I had just gone through my Rays Rolodex of MLB Power Pros guys, I would have gotten those. I'll be honest, there are a couple of these I would have had no shot. Like Carlos Febles, no shot.
Yeah, I would not have gotten that
over time, maybe. Adam Everett, man, I'm surprised we did. Oh, we tried Cliff Floyd. It didn't take it. Whoa. Please look at number 4 for the Cincinnati Reds.
Let's go. Adam Dunn. What? Adam Dunn didn't steal bases.
What? I'm calling an audible.
I will say Adam Dunn had better speed than we give him credit for, but I do not think of him as a guy who stole bases. Okay.
He once, I cannot believe this. Adam Dunn once stole 19 bases in a season.
I mean, look, Ivan Rodriguez stole 25 in a season once, and his nickname indicated he never stole. So
that's a fair point. This is
I guess anything is possible.
19 steals, Adam Dunn. He, at least on Baseball Reference, is listed at 6'6", 285 pounds.
What?
Yeah.
I mean, Aaron Judge is a big dude, and he stole like 14 in the season, 16 in the season once.
Yeah.
So I mean, anything is possible if you put your mind to it.
I gotta, that has to be like a record for like heaviest to steal X number of bases.
Yeah,
Let's see.
that's
Can we do biograph? Yeah, we can do biographical. We're gonna go 285. Most steals by a player weighing 285 pounds.
in a
Adam
season or
Dunn is number 1, number 2, and number 3, and number 5, and number 6.
wow. I didn't realize he was.
Also,
I
yeah.
Yeah.
Granted,
Well,
there
I mean, I think
haven't been many
yeah,
players over
yeah,
285. All right. Before we wrap up,
yeah.
one final question for you. Adam Dunn
Yep.
has almost every stolen base of the players who weigh 285 or more pounds. Name the only other player in MLB history to steal a base weighing over 285 pounds. Adam Dunn has 63 of them. One player who played from 1996 to 2008 has the other 25.
96 to 08.
He has actually been named in this segment. He was not a correct answer, but he was named. He was one of the players I named.
Oh my god. What?
2-time All-Star.
2-time All-Star.
He has one of the best nicknames in the history of baseball.
What?
Yep. And he had a brother that played.
He had a brother that played too?
Yep.
96 to 08. He was not a correct answer. What was he like an NL East guy? Like, would I know him?
Yes, he did play. He played in the NL Central.
Oh, Dimitri Young.
AL Central. Yes, Dimitri Young, Damit Hook.
Yeah. Yes.
295 pounds. He is the heaviest player in baseball history to steal a base.
Yeah, Dimitri Young was a beast, and his brother obviously was a number 1 overall pick. But wow, the more you know, I guess.
Yes, that was quite fun. Things we learned.
I would love to do this again.
Splash's laptop sucks balls.
It's not great. I'll tell you that much.
No, it's not. This is older than some major leaguers. I'm kidding, but it feels like it.
It feels like it. Yeah. My laptop, by the way, was I got it before my freshman year of college, which was about 6 years ago now. So probably wouldn't have had much success either.
Same. All right. As we end every show, we have a moment to ourselves. Mac, if you wish, you may go first.
Yeah, sure. I'll go first on this one.
Sure. I'll count you down. 3, 2, 1.
So as a lot of you are probably aware, the Mets are supposed to go play in London this weekend. And you've probably heard me do a couple of voice tweets about this team lately. It's been a disaster. I'm not going to pull any punches here. For the 6th time since May 1st, the Mets lost a game in which they led after 8 innings. I'm honestly amazed at this statistic. It feels low. The bullpen that was so good in the month of April has been just an abomination. I don't know. Do we have to convince them that like the 9th inning is actually the 7th inning or something? They've given up 11 homers in the 9th inning this year. Their ERA is upwards of 5 in the 9th inning. I don't know what has to be done. You could blame. I don't know why anyone's blaming David Stearns or Carlos Mendoza. They're literally, you are putting a guy in the 9th inning with a lead. Like, they should be able to get their job done, but it doesn't matter who pitches the 9th inning. They all somehow managed to blow the lead. So, obviously we had concerns about this roster coming into the year. The offense was inconsistent. The offense looks like it's sort of found a little bit of a rhythm with Lindor batting leadoff and Alonso batting second, JD Martinez batting cleanup. But really, we're going to see in the next month whether or not Pete Alonso will be on the roster on August 1st, in my opinion. And I really don't expect him to be here. And, this is your chance to make up ground, or this is your chance to, completely fold and sell off your whole team. So who knows what the month of June is going to look like. Attendance is down, and it's going to keep going down. So, yeah, that's my state of the Mets address right now. It's a disaster.
This is such a weird year. I remember in the offseason, I'm like, okay, if there's one thing I know about the Mets, it's Edwin Diaz is going to be locked down. And that's the one thing that hasn't been good for the Mets with Diaz. And the entire bullpen has like crapped itself late in games.
The thing is, it's not just Diaz. That's the problem.
Yeah,
Is that
exactly.
Diaz is getting most of the spotlight because of the contract, because he was so great in 2022. But it literally does not matter who they pitch in the ninth inning. It does not compute.
I hear Danny Mendick could use a job, so maybe
Yeah, I
bring
mean,
him.
Danny
Bring him in.
Mendick, maybe. I mean, yeah. I mean,
If
I'd
Luis
rather.
Gourmet gets ran out of town in
Oh, come
LA.
on. No, he's not getting run out of town. He's playing every day.
Oh,
With
Ron
all due respect to
Washington
the
hates his
Angels,
guts.
man.
Oh man.
I mean, I feel bad for everyone involved over there.
Mm-hmm. Although, hey, Kevin Pillar's playing like Pride Mike Trout, so
yeah.
Braves legend, White Sox legend, Mets legend, Giants legend, received MVP votes on the Giants, by the way. Blue Jays legend. All right, I think it's my time.
All right, Splash, shall I count you down?
Yes, please.
All right, your time starts in 3, 2, 1.
Folks, today I'm going to talk about priorities. It is always okay to have priorities. It is okay for them to change. It is okay for them to move. It is okay for them to be malleable. It is okay to, have a list on Monday, June 3rd, and then a week later, your priorities change. It's okay for them to say the same as well. But make sure you have time for yourself and time for people you care about and time to do things that you enjoy doing, whether that's therapeutic things, whether that's like mental health things, whether that's physical health, like hygiene sort of deal, whether that's walk around the block and see someone new, or try new food, or try something new. Maybe that's a priority for you. Like when I go out to eat, I'd like to try new things, or when I'm at the grocery store, I like to try new ice creams, although I haven't been trying many ice creams lately, but that's a story for another time. But remember, it's okay to have priorities, and it's okay to have yourself be your number one priority for a while, because you only live once. All right, folks, that will wrap us up for today. I don't know what episode number it is. It's somewhere between 1 and 100. So maybe one day I'll figure out how to count.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed, make sure you drop a 5-star review on your applicable podcast platform. Or if you're on YouTube, drop a like, drop a comment, say Mac is dumb or Splash is a moron for not getting some random player on our trivia question. Maybe you think Bobby Witt Jr. is the MVP. I agree with you. Maybe you think it's William Contreras. Maybe you think it's Michael Sirianni. Sorry. Maybe you think it's Nick Sirianni, and you're living in this quantum realm that NFL head coaches are MLB players. I don't know. But anyways, that's been all for me. That's been all for Mac. You can follow Mac at Matthias_A_K on the Bird app. You can follow me at Mr. Splashman19. You can follow Alex and his boulder growth, his boulder exploration. We'll put it that way. Yeah. You can follow him at the Sports Guy 242. You can follow us as a whole at LAR_baseball. Make sure you remember the Braves are going to show out in June. And I hope. It's pretty sad, honestly. I would do a state of the Braves, but I don't want people to be depressed.